Part 35 of a look at my Blu-ray collection. Ahoy everybody, and welcome to part 35 of a look at my Blu-ray collection. So these are films, TV, might be some music, might be some comedy, we shall see. Just no box sets. Box sets are multi-film collections or multi-series of a TV series. Let's carry straight on. So, TV series 11/22/63, based on a Stephen King novel, produced by J.J. Abrams. I own the novel. I've never got round to reading it. It's about that thick and it's always been too daunting. But I got it because I liked the premise. It's basically a bloke goes back in time to try and stop JFK assassination. Now, as a big... JFK is my favourite film. I've read many books on the assassination. My beliefs have changed over the years, but anyway. But as somebody who's very interested in it, this appealed. So, James Franco stars as Jake Epping, who's a teacher trying to find what he's going to do with his life. He's a friend who's ill, Chris Cooper, has discovered a portal basically that takes you back to 1960s Texas, and the idea is they want to prevent the assassination of JFK. And of course the past doesn't want to be changed because the past has to be what it is. And it's basically an 8-parter of him going back and trying to sort stuff, etc. It's just really good. Highly recommend. Another time travel. This is Looper. So this is... Was this Rian Johnson? Yes, it was. Another Rian Johnson film. I say another because I showed Last Jedi a couple of parts back. So a looper is a assassin who this is set in 2044. At that time, time travel hasn't been invented, but it is in the future. So what happens is that people are sent back from the future to be assassinated. And at one point, the person that gets sent back is Bruce Willis, who is an older version of John Gordon-Levitt's character, Joe. And he obviously doesn't want to shoot himself. And so time sorts of unravel, etc. People try and put right what went wrong. It's hard to describe without spoiling too much, but it's very good. As well as those two, Emily Blunt's in it, Paul Dano, Piper Perabo, Jeff Daniels. Really good cast, really good film. This is the first series of Sherlock. I've shown all the others by now, I think. In all the parts I've recorded so far this morning, I've shown something related to Sherlock Holmes, and this is continuing. I don't think anything can beat seeing the first Sherlock episode and realising how great this was going to be. Study in Pink. So this is Study in Pink. I'm trying to remember what the other two were. The Blind Banker and The Great Game. Blind Banker's not quite as good as the others. Probably the weakest of them all, but all the others are excellent. But all three of these are. Totally contradicting what I said. I mean, it's Blind Banker is still excellent, but it's just not as good as everything else. But yeah, just great stuff. This is the 6th series of Doctor Who, in a very attractive but annoying because it takes up excess space. Outer slip with an embossed silence on it. It comes with lenticular art cards as well, so I'll show those off. So we have Dr. Amy, Rory and River. Some Cybermen. They're not great lenticulars. The Peter Capaldi ones for his last series. I think it was his last series one. Might be the one before that, but they were excellent. But this was silent. Looks like that's meant to say something, but I'm not sure. Maybe not. I don't know. The Impossible Astronaut. Yeah, so they're not great lenticulars. So, what was this series? Series 6. So this was... So it starts with the Christmas special, Christmas Carol, which is the one with Michael Gambon and Catherine Jenkins. There's sharks in the fog. Then we got the Impossible Astronaut. So, I'm not going to go into each episode, but it's Impossible Astronaut, The Day of the Moon, Curse of a Black Spot, the pirate one, The Doctor's Wife, The Rebel Flesh, The Almost People, Good Man Goes to War, Let's Kill Hitler, Night Terrors, The Girl Who Waited, The God Complex, Closing Time, and The Wedding of River Song. Yes, it was a good series, basically one that I enjoyed all of. Sort of the overarching plot was just really this was a split series, was it? I think this was a split series, but the overarching plot was really Amy's pregnancy and birth and the baby being kidnapped and what became of her, etc. Try not to spoil too much, but yeah, really, really strong series. It's not going to stack nicely. This is 20,000 Streets Under the Sky. So this was a BBC drama from 2005. It's basically just a drama about the working class in London in the 30s. But it's really well done, great cast. Zoe Tapper was my main interest in it, but enjoyed it very much. This is Pusher. So, Richard Coyle plays Frank, who's a drug dealer in London. But he gets into huge debt with this big drug lord. And it's, you know, sort of all very violent and trying to be Lock, Stock, that sort of style. But it's, Agnes Dane is in it, the model, who has become a very good actress. It's a fun little film. This is The Love Witch. So this is a recent film. When was it? 2016. But it's done in the style of a 60s Technicolor horror thriller type film. It's all very vivid colour, lots of rear projection and stuff like that. It's very, very well done. So Samantha Robinson plays Elaine, who's a witch determined to find love. And she moves into this house in San Francisco and brews love potions. But it works too well, and she has too many men fall in love with her, and you know, it all goes a bit. Her desperation to be loved will drive her to the brink of insanity and murder. It's all very well done. Enjoyed it a lot. So, last part before last. One of the two. something like that. I showed a Dutch release of Showgirls because at the time that was the only Blu-ray available. It has subsequently been, as I mentioned, subsequently been released over here, and this is the UK release. Very similar cover, but this is a slip. Still not a great release. It's, I won't go into too much detail again, but it is a film that I really love. Unfortunately, this has only got a production featurette and a couple of trailers. There was a box set released in the US on DVD, which I have shown. Big elaborate box set with playing cards and shot glasses and a pin and nipple tassel on the Showgirl poster and game thing and all sorts in there. But that had loads of commentaries and featurettes and what have you. It's a shame that hasn't been ported over into Blu-ray. But Showgirls. Another one of my favourite films, Carrie. This is the Arrow release. I have shown the original normal version, but I couldn't resist this when Arrow released it. So this has got obviously the film, and then a nice decent book about it, and then a big poster which has got a bit bent in there, unfortunately. So it's got the original poster on one side and the new artwork on the other. But yeah, one of my favourite films, as I say, just a masterpiece. Isn't it Brian De Palma? One of my favourite directors anyway, but I just love Carrie. Another one of my favourite films, this is A Fish Called Wanda. John Cleese, written, starred. So he's Archie Leach, who's a lawyer with a very nice, comfortable life, with a wife who he loves, but it's a very safe marriage that's gone on for years, and you know, there's no hanky-panky, let's say. And a daughter, teenage daughter, who's getting on well in life, you know, just idyllic life, really. But he gets embroiled with a bunch of jewel thieves, played by Kevin Kline, Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Palin. And they were in a team with Tom Georgeson's London Gangster. He gets arrested. He knows whereabouts of the diamonds. Palin knows whereabouts of the diamonds. Kline and Jamie Lee Curtis team together who are in a relationship, are trying to find the whereabouts of the diamonds. So she seduces Archie, because he's George's lawyer, so thinks he might be told where the diamonds are. But they get, you know, she falls in love with him, and it's very funny and very good, and highly recommend. This is an Arrow release, loads of special features on it. Yeah. Yeah, we'll get these through. Another very good film. This is Personal Shopper, starring Kristen Stewart. So it's a ghost story basically, but it's not a spooky ghost story. So basically, Kristen plays Maureen, who's an American living in Paris. She works as a personal shopper to famous people. So, you know, she buys primarily one actress, I think it is. You know, she buys all her clothes for her, etc. Her twin brother has died from a congenital heart problem, and so she's always in fear that she's got this problem. But she's also a bit of a medium, and she goes to their family home trying to contact him. But it all goes very strange. But yeah, really good film. This is an excellent film. This is called Raw, which with my speech impediment is a bit difficult to say, so I think I've got that correct. It's a French film. It is subtitled and all that shit, which isn't made clear on the title, on the packaging, but is of no concern to me whatsoever. I have many foreign films. So Justine is in a family of vets, all her family are vegetarian. She's 16, she goes to college, well, veterinary school. And part of a hazing ritual is that she has to eat raw liver, I think it is, certainly raw meat, which as a vegetarian, obviously she's never done, she's always been vegetarian. She eats it and it has this effect on her, and she decides that she actually needs to eat very fresh meat, as in human meat. But it's just really, really, really good film. It is, you know, there's sort of lots of blood, but it's not really a horror film. It's more of a drama, but it's just, I couldn't recommend it more highly. And finally, we have Alien Covenant. So this was the sequel to Prometheus. It's good. It's not great, but it's good. It's sort of trying to take it back to more of the Alien feel. I didn't like Prometheus much, to be honest. I enjoyed this more. But it's not the same without Sigourney, is it? Okay, that's it for this part. There'll be one more part for this shelf. So keep an eye on the playlist for that. Or if you've missed the past parts, they're on the playlist as well. Thank you for watching. Like, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you in another video. Thanks. Bye.